Well, I thought the games were good. I thought it was a bad TV show. I think that there were too many stoppages. Probably a little too much Kevin Hart, if we're being honest.
Yes.
The inside the NBA eulogy seemed odd because that show was continuing. It's just going from TNT to ESPN. So it was, like they treating that like it was Huey Brown's last broadcast was weird because like these guys are staying together. So that part I didn't
It was just the
understand.
end of the TNT version of them. So
Yes,
it's like,
it was a little melodramatic in my regard, in
Right.
my opinion, in that regard.
Anticlimactic.
But I thought they achieved what they wanted basketball wise. Guys played harder, they cared. You know what I mean? It wasn't just threes and dunks. So I thought it was a step in the right direction. I would propose this tweak. Have the games be to 50 instead of 40. And instead of having 4 teams of 8 guys, and therefore you have 32 guys and you have to have the rising stars involved, have 4 teams of 7 guys and expand the all-star team from 24 to 28. So that accomplishes a couple things. First of all, we won't have to worry about the ignominy of Norman Powell snubs in the future because everybody was so fucking worried
Can't
about
have that.
Norman Powell's feelings. But the all-star game had 24 guys in it back when the league had 12 teams. And it has stayed at 24 guys now that we have 30 teams. So expanding it slightly to 28 probably makes sense. Then we don't have to worry about there won't be as many snubs or whatever it is. The league is that deep with talent. And I didn't mind this tournament format. I thought it was cool. I thought the TV production could have been tighter. I think the games could have been a touch longer. And then you fix a lot of it. But I love the idea of a one-on-one contest. I love it. Will guys do it? I don't know if guys will do it. I think it would be exceptional TV and way more fun than horse or the different things that we've heard about. So I really like the idea of the one-on-one tournament, but I did not hate this. I didn't hate this the way other people did, and I thought it was. I think sometimes what happens is we once again take our cues. I think the fans take their cues from the media and social media. And I think Draymond, and we'll get to Draymond in a minute, being on the broadcast just saying how much this sucks. I thought that was bad. I really thought it was bad. And I just can't imagine that ever happening with another sport. And that to me is, now I have been critical. At the beginning of the year, said the NBA has some real concerns. The load management thing is a real concern, and the just every team playing the same way with all the threes, that's a real concern that needs to be addressed. But that can be true, and then it also can be true that during the event, it should be a celebration of your sport. I just can't. I can't imagine. Fox has the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Can you imagine if in the lead up to it, Poppy and A-Rod and Jeter were just like, here's why the game sucks. Here's why people don't care. Here's why it was better back in my day. That's a downer for the fans. And again, I'm not acting like I thought it was a perfect event. It was not a perfect event. But I thought the actual basketball was way better than the last couple years. I also think people have been overly dramatic about how bad it's been for the last 10 years. 2020 post-Kobe passing was a great game. 2022 had an awesome finish. 2023 and 2024 were terrible. And Durant, I think, nailed it in some of his tweets when he was like, listen, the All-Star Game's always been about 3/4 of screwing around, so to speak, and then if it's close, lock down for the fourth quarter. The problem the last couple years has been the three-pointer allows teams to get to such a huge lead that there is no period of, oh, it's close late, let's fight for this. So tweaks were needed, but the NBA just also needs like better PR. Like nobody thinks that that the Pro Bowl being a literal flag football game is a massive indictment on the NFL. Nobody thinks that. And go ahead if it looked like you wanted to say something.
No. I made a flag football point earlier and they shot it down, but
let me hear it.
It's a little bit different just because with football, you don't want the guys to get hurt. And I was just thinking, why would you want the guys to be going 100% the whole time during the All-Star game to begin with? It just makes it more likely that they get hurt during a time where.
So listen, guys have never gone. It's a myth. The idea that these games were always great games or guys were always going 100%, it's just not true. Now, the last 2 years were jokes. Everyone understands that. But 2022 was awesome with the Elam ending 163-160 final. 2020 was great with another Elam ending 157-155 final. And, it's been 2018 was fine. 2015 was decent. But let's just go further.
All-Star Week is supposed to be a breath of fresh air, I feel like it's supposed to reset. It's not something to be so rah-rah over. But
so I tend to agree, and people bring up, oh man, 93, Jordan's last year before he quit the first time, 135, 132 overtime. That's awesome. The year before was 153, 113. It was a 40-point blowout where one team scored 150. The year before that was an awesome game, 116, 114. The year before that was a blowout, 130, 113. Now, I'm not acting like it hasn't, it's gotten worse. I understand that, which is why the tweaks are needed. But again, people are just way too nostalgic about things that did or didn't exist. And so I do think the NBA smartly wants to tweak some things, and I think they're trying to.